Adolescence. Very important thing we have to talk about is this series right there from Netflix. And I always talk about Netflix having bad intention for young men. But obviously you see me right now and you already think what you think. Oh, a man protecting Andrew Tate, protecting masculinity, and it's all against women. But that's a bad thought. Because let's first of all talk about this series and what it's about. It's about a young white boy killing a young white girl. Okay, I think that's the first problem because this whole series is playing in UK, and if you see the violence in UK is mostly from black people. And there's a very important topic in this whole series. It's about the influence of social media, seeing people on social media talking about bad things, and that should be the reason to commit these crimes. They talked about Andrew Tate being that reason.
It's the involuntary celibate stuff. It's the Andrew Tate shite. Oh, fucking hell.
I've heard the boys talking about him.
I'm here to say that is not all wrong. Because if you think about it, if you see all the clips, not even all the clips, if you think about Andrew Tate and all that things that are pushing into the media, you always see the bad things. And yes, he had some bad talks that you don't have to support 100%. But if you think about the crime rates and if you think about mostly black people stabbing each other and the influence of social media, it's connected to all of these rap people. It's connected to all of these people that are promoting stabbing each other and putting it into songs. And these people, the first point that I want to talk about is that these people are not white. So why they are pushing white people being bad and stabbing each other when that's not the reality? First point. Second point, talking about Andrew Tate being bad, being a bad influence. Social media isn't like you've seen one post from one person and then you get influenced by it. You see more and more things. Two people, Andrew Tate and all of these UK stabbing rapper. You see one post from them, you see one song of them, you see one rap song of them, and you will see more rapper talking about stabbing. You see some J videos. That's the reality. If you look into Andrew Tate, the first thing you might see is a video where he talked about 10 years ago about having a webcam studio and giving you tricks about how to trick women into them believing that he is the man and then doing everything that he wants to do. I could go further into that, but let me give you this point. Just like I said, recommendations. If you see more of Andrew Tate's stuff, you will end up at the actual stuff that he's talking about. Masculinity. What is masculinity? Masculinity is not about tricking women to believe that you should do anything for a man. It's about being a man that protects women. It's about being a man that is a winner. And that's the thing we talked about. In this series, they said there is an 80-20 rule, right? I will give you all of these scenes.
Where 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men.
80% of women are attracted to 20% of men.
She's pretending like I'm part of one of those truth groups. What truth groups?
It's a call to action by the manosphere.
Manosphere.
And the 80-20 rule is about 80% of women only dating 20% of men. And that's not wrong. That's the reality. I would even say 99% of women only date 1% of men. In the series, they said you have to trick them to then get in love with you. That's what people think Andrew Tate said. But that's wrong. Andrew Tate, or people who are in a masculinity realm, giving you two steps. The one thing you could do is being a loser and trying to trick them, but they don't even say that you should do that. Another thing is, and this is the way you should do it, is to improve yourself, to get better. Be one of the 1% men. Why shouldn't you be one of that men? And if you look into all of the videos that are about Andrew Tate, you will see that. Improve yourself to be the best version of yourself. I think that's the most important point that you don't really realize. Because what they want you to realize or understand in that series is that you should get raised by women because women are stronger. Women show you that you should be emotional. Women are against masculinity. But what happens if a man get raised by a woman, by an emotional, feminine woman? I tell you what is happening. And it's not about women, but I was also raised by just my mother. And I can tell you right now, that life was hard because I was one of that man that wasn't getting respected, had no father who said, you know what, go to the gym, do this. I had to learn it on my own. And yes, one of the men that helped me right there was Andrew Tate. So I would support him always, because without his influence, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be somebody who is married. I wouldn't be somebody who strives to be better, goes to the gym, is a nice person, respects other people, trying to protect my sisters. I realize it's not the woman's fault that women don't like me. It's my fault that I don't improve myself. With Andrew Tate, I improved myself. So is he bad now? That's the thing you have to analyze yourself. If you get raised by an emotional feminine woman, you will be an emotional feminine man. So an emotional feminine man will never be a 1% man. So you will get frustrated. Plus, you have no emotional control. That's the thing you learn with masculinity. And what will happen now? You could maybe become somebody who stabs a girl because you're too emotional, because you will realize that all of that femininity and all of that get raised by a feminist will not help you to get women. And it's a desire for men to get women at the end of the day. And if you don't get that, you will get emotional, because you will get frustrated about women, because you will realize all of that shit that was taught me to be nice, to be emotional, to talk about my feelings with women, will not help me to get women. And now you get frustrated about women, and now you could maybe kill a woman. But if you know you got raised by a man, by a straight man, by a masculine man, not even straight, a gay man could also be masculine, who said, you know what, respect women. You need to be strong. You need to self-improve yourself. You need to make some money. It's not about they being gold diggers. It's about they needing security and safety, and you give them that with your muscles and with your money. Is that bad? No. But not social media Andrew Tate is bad, but social media as a whole. Because you see 13-year-old girls right now, for an example, that girl that is an actor in the show now gets so much support and so much messages about her being nice, and she's on TikTok now. And now she will get so many messages that she will select only the best man for her. And who's the best man? Not even the masculine man, not even the good-looking man. It's about the successful man in the social media realm. So it could also be a 14-year-old boy who's just fame. That's the reality of life right there. It is not about Andrew Tate talking on social media. Why do your 13-year-old kid has fucking social media, is on that social media platform, talking to older guys on that social media platform? Is that what Andrew Tate did? Or is that your responsibility as a parent?